So the issue is maybe you want to make an inset map. That inset map, when you make it in a layout, is going to have a whole bunch of source information around it. And that source information is, you're legally required to have it in there, because by streaming data from Esri, you have to include the recognition that the data come from these sources. However, having it twice on one map is probably excessive and definitely is a cartographic problem. So one thing that you want to try to do maybe is you could export this as a TIFF or a JPEG, right? So I have and you want to make it at fairly high resolution. I'll make it here on my desktop. And I'm just going to export it as an image. It's going to show the continental United States here. I'll export that image, and then I'll bring it back in to ArcGIS Pro and do a georeferencing or georectification on it. So back here to map, I'm going to take my blank Basemap info here. You'd want to set it up how you want it to look on your own map. I'll add it in. My add data dialog box is on a different monitor. It'll take it a moment, supposedly. Or it'll just freeze. There we go. Now you might be like, oh, well, where is it? If we zoom to this, here's my base map, right? But if we show where it is overall on Earth, it is at the 0, latitude and longitude off the coast of Africa, as we talked about in class today. So yeah, what I want to do now is use the georeferencing tools to bring it to scale where I'm going to want to use it for my inset map, right? So I'll go over here to imagery and click on georeference, and it'll open up a tool set up here. The first option is to add a control point at a location I know I can identify in both the streaming base map and in the image I'm trying to use as my non-streaming base map, right? Now again, I want to emphasize that you have to conform to legal requirements of using these streaming base map services. You have to have the full source information in your map at all times. But in this case, we'll zoom to approximately the same zoom level, and I'll click there, and it should move my map to that location. So here I have my map, and it is actually located approximately at the intersection between Indiana and Ohio, but it's too small. So I need to add a couple more of these ground control points. Maybe I come find one down here, and then I go out to my overall map, and I find the same location at about the same zoom level. Boom. There we go. Right? And that's fairly good. I probably want to do a couple more to make sure that there's agreement, but this is a how-to video. I click Save as New, and I give it a coordinate system, maybe equal to my map layer, and then I save it. Now, when I I set another inset map in here, right? I add another map frame for my inset. I can put it, let's say I put it up here, and I have my map, and I want it to be hold on, layout. I want it to be focused on my location here in, maybe my study area is, I'm showing an overall location map, so it's like that, right? Close my activation. You'll notice my inset map doesn't have all the source information that's showing in my main map, right? because I've essentially stolen the base map as an image, made that image into geographic information, and included it there. It is stealing. So if I were to do something like no longer have this base map data over here, the source information would go away, which would then, this would definitely be a stolen image, right? So you've got to be careful about that.
Would you click that bottom, would you click the source image and then put it on the other one to make it?
Yeah, you could, or you could
Can I put
copy this information over to there in a text box.
Can I put the source information in the bottom separately?
Yes,
Then I use all the.
but just make sure it's included. And
Yeah.
and really, you should honestly make your own base map
Yeah.
in many cases if you're worried about a big long source map or source text box there. But if you do something like this and then include it, maybe also explicitly say like Basemap data was acquired using the Esri streaming Basemap service, right? Be honest about what you're doing.
Yeah, in the map, maybe the bottom, I can write it.
Yeah, you know, ultimately, if you're going to profit off of the map, you need to have it as they stream it to you, right? Not doing this workaround. But for, you know, a map you're not going to profit off of or republish, then
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, ultimately. But that would be how you do it. I will